How to win friends and influence people. 6 ways to get people to like you. We now move to the 4th of the 6 ways, which is simply this: be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Dale Carnegie shares a story of, he said, I was once at a dinner party in New York City, and he says, I happened to spend the whole evening talking to a botanist of all people. And he said, I found him fascinating. He said, he was telling me things about botany that I had no idea about. And he said, I didn't know anything about it. He said, I had a little garden of my own. I had some curious questions about things I could fix. And he says, but he told me all kinds of fascinating things. He goes, I hardly talked at all. He said, I no more understood botany than I understood the anatomy of a penguin. And he said, but I found this gentleman interesting, and I talked to him all evening. And he said, when the evening was over, he said to our host, Mr. Carnegie is absolutely an incredible conversationalist. He said, I had barely said more than 2 words. He said, all I did was encouraged him to talk about him. He said, what I was is a good listener. My friends, that's what people want, is to be heard. They want to talk about themselves. So if you and I will encourage others to talk about themselves and their interests and be a genuinely good listener, you will develop an incredible trait that will serve you. And what do I mean by serve you? Well, Dale says, I actually learned some things from him that helped me in my small garden at home. My friends, you can be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves.